We're back with football again, and with me today is Saeed, Mustafa, Warifa, and Segodi. My name is Afolabi, and we're building up to the World Cup.
Okay,
Welcome to the show.
welcome. Welcome to Bafana and Senegal too. Forget Morocco. We don't want you took away our title. But welcome to Bafana fans. Today we're going to focus purely, no more gossip, no more joking. We're going to focus purely on the tactics. Sigodi, who's our South African analyst, has given me some surprising views. He's saying that Jaden Adams will not be in midfield, Moremi will not be in attack, and he's also saying that Mofa King will not be in midfield. He's saying that it's going to be Sitole. It's going to be Sitole in midfield and Mokwena. No, there's Wane as an attacking midfielder. No Mofa King. No Moremi. Maseko will be on the right. Apollos, of course, will be, or Maseko will be on the right or the left. I don't know how they're going to do it. Those guys can switch. But of course, we have the guys, Ocon and Mbakazi. Those guys are very good. They're going to be the spine of this team. Rowan Williams is a pressure valve. He can release the press. You can't press Rowan Williams. I know Mexico's going to try to press, but they can't. But to me, not having Jaden Adams and not having Mofa King as an attacking midfielder or as a winger and not having Moremi means that this is a defensive side. So what South Africa is going to play for is for a draw or a 1-0 win. What do you think? Am I right? Come on. Am I right? I had a beer before. Am I right, Segodi? He's going for a defensive setup because you have Maseko. You don't even have Moremi or Mofa King in there. That tells me, but they're using Zwane as a creative. That's what you believe will be the starting lineup, right? Can you give an explanation?
Yeah, it's according to the mind of Hugo Broos. That's what I know him. He might go this way. But according to me, I would have played the players that you are talking about, like your Jaden Adams, your Moremi, and Mofokeng in the midfield, to try to go and punish Mexico when we get the chance. So Hugo Broos is a defensive coach normally. Like I know he'll go for Sitole because maybe prefer him for the height. He'll prefer Maseko because he has used him before and then he has given him fruits. But Maseko and Moremi, they don't have that much difference. Even for me, I would have went for Maseko and bring Moremi in the second half because Maseko can take shots at goal, proper shots at goal.
So to me, it's a good setup because what you can do in the second half, you can bring in Mofa King and Moremi. And maybe even Adams, but I think it's important for them to have Sitole in the midfield because Sitole will be the destroyer, and Mokwena will sit back and will give vertical passes, and also Mokwena can invert and go and attack and can take shots from outside the box. What do you think?
No, absolutely. You know, Mokwena is very vital. He's the one who's going to set the pace. If we were to win, to do well in this game, Mokwena and Zwane needs to control the tempo of the game. They need to dictate the game. How we play, how Mexico plays as well. And William is also very vital to this cause because remember, Mexico is a pressing team and they will want to press Williams, but Williams is very comfortable on the ball and we need him on his best.
If they can survive, because Mexico is going to, so to me, I'm not going to complain. This is a good setup because Mexico is going to put pressure on them. So this is their best setup, a defensive setup for pressure. Then in the second half, they can bring in more creative players like Moremi, not Moremi, but also Mofa King, and then bring in Mofa King is the main guy, and then bring in Jaden Adams maybe later. They may even take out they'll take out Sitole. If it's still a draw, they can maybe, but it depends on whether they're tired. But this is a decent setup, so they have some flexibility. So I'm not going to complain too much. Last thought, Segodi, then we'll go to Afolabi.
No, absolutely. Like for me, I think this is preferred lineup. But if it was for me, I would start Jaden Adams. I'll also start Mofokeng in the midfield because Mofokeng still has the energy. He can cope. Like Tempazwane is aging. I think you need him in the last 15 minutes to control the game. But even if you start him, I think he has seen something.
But they'll stop him. Maybe they'll bring him in for creativity at the beginning and then take him out. But also, so Adams brings more creativity. Adams is more box to box than Sitole, right?
That's Sitole, yes, of course.
And that's more box to box. Look at Mexico. They even have Gutierrez, but they have Alvarez, Fidalgo, Chavez. Mexico is going to be more creative in midfield, and they're going to have more possession. Having someone like Adams will make the possession better for South Africa because when you bring Sitole in, that means you have to sit back to a mid to low block. Am I right? Yeah.
No, definitely, because Sitole is not that of a ball player. Like
they're going to press and they're going to try to go to their wings, and that's South Africa's weakness. South Africa's weakness is Mudawa and Modiba. Those guys are good, but they will overlap. They're not good defensively. They're good for helping the midfield and the attack, and that's where they're going to have to watch out. So South Africa, but the main thing is that Okan and Mbukazi, those guys are strong in the middle. So if Mexico wants to score on South Africa, they're going to have to go through the wings. So we'll see what happens.
Yes.
And you guys, I did my research this time, man. I'm becoming a football expert.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. What do you? In fact, let's flip the skip. Let's go to Saeed before Saeed said everybody takes his points. What do you think, Saeed?
You already gave a very good analysis, but I was hoping I'll be hoping that the coach start Mofokeng, because that would be like their joker there if they're going to be like holding on to the ball, because they need somebody to be holding on to the ball for a very good counter attack, or somebody who is very creative. They need someone very creative if they are going to get anything out of that Mexico game, because obviously Mexico is going to be all out, so they need somebody that can think very smartly and can quickly decide what to do with the ball, because they'll be. I think they should be banking on probably a counter attack or something, because I don't think they are going to be taking most of the possession. So he just have to play some very good smart players and probably somebody on the wings that can actually make a very good counter attack. So I think Mofokeng, I think is one of their most skillful players, so he should start him, and probably other players later on also.
And also Mofokeng, unlike Zwane, Mofokeng can also play on the wing. So if you put Mofokeng as the attacking midfielder, he can drift to the left or to the right and stretch.
Yeah, to the left. Yeah, to the left or even to the middle.
They're going to have to go through counter attack and wing. So Mofokeng is better. But to me, this is still a good team. This is not like a disaster for South Africa. They still have opportunities, and they can always. If things aren't working out, they can make very quick substitutions. What are your thoughts?
These are players that I think something that can actually work for South Africa is these are players that they have already been playing with each other. Or what they just need is confidence. Like Mexico. The only thing I will be giving over Mexico over South Africa is because they'll be playing at home, so the pressure will be on them. So they just have to perform. So if they can soak in Mexico's pressure and probably capitalize on one or two chances that they have, and they can defend well, and they play as a team. You never can tell. Anything can happen.
Because I think earlier we were predicting that Mexico will win 2-0, but to me this is going to be close.
Yeah, Mexico is still going to win anyway, but it's just they might be lucky. So just in case if they have the chances, if they can utilize it, then
But I think if they played in somewhere like England or Morocco or on an equal pitch, South Africa can go toe-to-toe with Mexico. But when you're playing in
Mexico... They will go toe-to-toe. Exactly. That's my point too. They'll go toe-to-toe.
What are your thoughts, Wari? Yeah.
This game, like we all agree, this game is going to be a highly tactical game.
You can take the picture off now.
You said? Okay. This game is going to be a highly tactical game. For the South Africans, if I'm their coach, I wouldn't want to rush the game. Just try and absorb, if they can, absorb the pressure of the Mexicans, because if the Mexicans should score early before them, it's going to be the South Africans will be under pressure. So what do we do? If they can match the South Africans one-on-one, or if they want to defend, like what Mr. Said said, if they can defend and catch the South Africans on counter-attack, it would be nice. But Mexicans, they are fast.
No, you mean the other way? I think you mean it the other way. I think you mean if South Africa can catch Mexico on attack.
Yes, if the South Africans can catch the Mexicans on counter-attack, that would be nice. But we know Mexicans, they are fast. And again, for the, the South Africans, the coach should try and study the Mexicans to try and choke the midfield, don't allow the Mexicans to dictate the play of the game. But the only advantage I would say the Mexicans might have is because most of their players, they play abroad. They play in the Premier League, South American League. They play in Spain, and maybe some other countries. That's where the expertise will come in. But South Africans, they play in their local league. But they too, that might come in as an advantage for them. How? Because they know themselves. So if the coach can even buy some ideas from this South African club side, or if not looking at pride, meet these coaches of the local club. What are the strengths of this? What are their weakness of these players playing together? I think it will be a good one for South Africans. But the match, anything is possible, but I still stand by my word. either 1-0 South Africa or draw.
Yeah, I'm going to say the other way. Mexico 1-0 or draw. So we can bet money on win or draw for one of those two. Okay, Afolabi will be waiting. We always bring the boss for the last, the analytical Afolabi.
I mean, everybody has analyzed it properly. I just wanted to add that I think Mexico will try and dominate the game and dominate territory. Yes, I don't want
they will dominate. They will
too
dominate
deep into their defense.
Yes.
They can play low to mid block, but not too deep into their defense. What they need to do is to ensure that they mark the Mexicans one man to man and not give away, remain compact. And what I feel that the Mexicans will try and do is to press South Africa. What South Africa can do is to make sure that they look at the channels, they bait them, they bait the Mexicans into pressing, then they send long balls behind the fullbacks. They can actually do that. If they do that, it's going to help them a lot. And then the breakthrough can come, basically.
To be honest with you, I thought they should have kept Sitole but bring in Mofokeng, because that means you can have defensive setup, but you can also have you can also press and do counter. But they want to bring Zwane. But remember, this is Segodi's prediction, so we don't know what Bruce will do, but we'll see what happens. All right, so we'll go around everybody. Last thoughts. We'll start off with Saeed. Last thoughts.
Yeah. So like I've said earlier, so I'll be hoping South Africa and their coaching team, coaching crew, to talk to their players that there is nothing. As in, this is football. This is 11 men against 11 men. If they can have that belief and play as united as they can as a team, and try and defend as a team and attack as a team too, and you never can tell. And probably take 1 or 2 or 3 of their chances when it comes, because definitely they are going to have some chances. So if they can utilize their chances any time of the game and defend properly, you never can tell. They might come up with a draw. I don't see them winning that match, but if they get a draw, it will be nice for them.
And you know what? The most important player, and I think you'll agree with me on that team, is Apollos. Because Segodi, you agree. There's no way in any game that Apollos won't start. He has to start because Apollos can play left or right. He can play false nine. He can also drop into the midfield and let Lau Foster go forward, or Lau Foster will go back into the midfield, and Apollos can play the central forward instead. Apollos is the main guy on that team. That guy is chaos because you don't know what he will do. He runs everywhere. Like, in basketball where you see one player that runs one way, then they go cut to the left. That Apollos guy they're gonna have to really use Apollos well to confuse defenses. What do you think of Segodi? Yeah.
No, absolutely. Apollos will be very vital for us because he's like kind of joker. He also can play as a 10. He can also play on the right, on the left. He can play as a false 9. So he's very important for us, and he can finish that boy. So we're going to need him a lot. But I think on this game, Mexico is really going to find out how good the South African boys are on the ball. Because the only problem is finishing, but on the ball, they're very good. They're the keeper that can play ball.
They're going to be outnumbered in midfield. Yeah. Because Mexico is going to play. Mexico is like Argentina. They like to overload the midfield. Yeah, but we'll see. Yeah.
True. Yeah, but even the coach of Mexico, because we played him twice, we've beaten him twice. He lost his job twice with Egypt, with Mexico as well. So okay. I hope it happens again.
What are your thoughts, Warif? Then we'll end with the boss. Is Warif there? Maybe Warif crashed out. I think Warif crashed out, but it's okay because he had a good input before.
Yeah, I think it does went off now. I think it does went off now.
Especially about Apollos and Co. Yeah, I follow it.
Yeah, also Apollos is one direct route to the attack that the South Africans must take advantage of. And one other important thing, corner kicks, free kicks, second balls, very important for the South African team. That's one of the ways they can actually score against Mexico. And don't let Mexico let South Africa dictate the tempo. Let them slow down the pace of the game. That's the only way. That's the only route to scoring in that game.
Okay. All right, so I think on this game, even though we believe that Mexico will still win,
I think we believe that to help him again.
Yeah, South Africa has a path. They have a path to victory or at least draw. that means that it's possible for them to surprise. But so this is a much more positive show because we had time to think after all
Yeah,
the
this is football. This is football. Like I said, it is 11 man against 11 man. There is always a chance for a surprise. You never can tell. South
and South
Africa
Africa
can still
has a
come
good
out and win,
team.
but they have to like. Yeah, but the thing is that with the players, with the crop of players that they have right now, and with my own level of knowledge of how football is played, I don't see them winning. But they might, as
Yeah.
in, they can try to get a draw. But with this set of players they have,
Yeah.
I don't see them winning in Mexico at home
They have to
in
start
this kind
sending
of
players
caliber
abroad.
of game.
They have to start sending players like
Yeah,
Segodi.
exactly,
Segodi, South
exactly.
Africa won. They won the African Nations Cup for under 20, and their goalkeeper now is in Portugal. The white guy, what's his name? He's in Portugal now.
Low.
And what's the name of that guy that can play? That plays as a defender. That was the player of the tournament. The colored guy. What's his name?
Which one?
Tyree, or what his name is.
Terrence Smith.
Yeah, those guys. Those are young guys. It's time to send them to Europe. And you can have a mix of players from Europe and players from the local league. For example, Nigeria has too many players in Europe. They don't bring enough players for the local league. That's Nigeria's problem. South Africa's problem is the opposite. Too much from the local league and not enough international. But you have to have a good mix between the two. Because if you don't play players from your local league, you won't have your style. And we know South Africa has a good style of football. They use their wings, they're quick. They just need to have a few more players from in Europe. Yeah, but what do you think?
But what I think is they need to put these boys. They need to put football in school so that we train these boys to like score early. You know, because most of South African players they start playing professional football after 20 years. They get them here in locations. They've been playing here in location. They don't have the proper techniques that you.
You know what's the opposite?
Sorry?
South Africa rugby. When you play rugby in South Africa, you start at 5 years old. That's why South Africa is number one in the world in rugby.
Yes. Yes, that's why I'm saying even Europe is not that important for them. The most important thing, we need to put football in school so that they get the proper techniques, like to even finish, to place the ball. If they teach them that very early, because we're creating chances. Even though we play, whatever team we play against, we create chances, but we don't finish them. It shows that we're late there. If you can solve that problem, I don't think even they need Europe, because rugby doesn't need Europe. But it's the best in the world. Even in school level, they're the best in the world. Because they have a proper... Yes.
You see, they already have a 15-year-old guy from Barcelona, from Senegal, that they're saying is going to be the best player already. You've seen that guy?
Yes, already. Yeah, sure.
He's 15 years old playing for them. So that's what South Africa needs to do. But that means they need to invest. The problem is they need to get technical advisors from Spain, from all these places to come there.
They need to forget about Bruce. Bruce is too tactically inflexible.
But Bruce is going to retire after this. So he's finished, man.
Yes.
All right. Last time, Wari, then we go. Okay, Segodi, finish. Go. Let's Segodi finish.
I was saying, like, Africa doesn't necessarily need Europe. Like, even Nigeria, if they put proper money in football in Nigeria,
they
become competitive.
Segodi, the problem is that it's not that Europe is superior, but Europe is at the forefront of the technology in football. They know the secrets. The Africans don't have the secrets now. So, for example, like in war, Iran is beating. So what I'm saying is that Africa still needs Europe now, because the Europeans they've been using money to develop the science. So they have all the books.
Yes.
But what happens is once you send a few South African coaches to Europe, when they come back, they can start to give that information. Then you don't need the Europeans anymore. You get my point?
True.
Then you can also start, and also when you're a South African coach, you'll take what you learn from Europe and you'll use what you learn from your own local secrets that the Europeans don't know also. You see what I'm saying? That's true. You get what I'm saying? True. That's why you have to have your local style. Like, for example, Argentina and Brazil, they know the European style, but they also have their own style. Like Argentina has Boca Juniors, Brazil has Flamenco. So what they do is, it's not that they take everything from Europe. They also take what they know from Europe and then they bring it back and put it on their own. You see what I'm saying, Segodi?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, what are your thoughts, Wari?
Yeah, this is not. Yeah, if I may come in a little bit to interject in what you guys are saying, it is not. Yeah, it is not even about having so much players in Europe or African, like what Mr. Segodi is saying. I think the thing is, we are all football heads. If there is any exceptional players in South Africa, by now we will all be praising it's just like Osimhen now. Every South African football head will know that Osimhen is an exceptional player. So that's what I'm saying. Like, at the moment, South Africa don't have that kind of caliber of player, whether he's playing in Europe or he's homegrown. Are you getting my point? Just like Mofokeng now. Yeah, I know Mofokeng is a little bit stylish and, just like Mokoena, but they are not on that level of, exceptional.
But they have that guy that plays for their under 20, Tyrion. He's good. You know I'm talking about, Segodi. But also Mofokeng is good. But I think Mofokeng should go to Europe. I'm telling you, that guy is good.
So, but if you look at South African players,
Mofokeng is good. I know Mofokeng is good.
Benny McCarthy was the last superstar, and also Pina. Pina was good too.
Exactly. But Benny McCarthy,
South African players.
I think that goes back to what Segodi says. To get those types of players, you have to spend a lot of money when they're young to develop them. Whether it's Europe or South Africa, you have to catch those guys when they're young. But in South Africa, all of the talented athletes go to rugby. That's the problem. All right.
Yeah. Okay. What I was saying is the South Africa needs to players that can mark players to man that will not easily gas out before 30 minutes, because if they can, like I said, if they can mark the Mexicans up to 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you frustrate them. By the time you frustrate them, they might get one out, and you see people start looking for other tactics to play. That's putting them under pressure. So the South African coach should know the players and set pieces.
Set pieces,
from free kicks, flag kicks. Don't try to market yourself stage. You have to want to market themselves. You should play as a team. Don't go about do it. Play to instruction. That's it.
Yeah, you were bringing, but I think what you're saying is South African players, they need to play very compact football, the way that Congo does. Know yourself, frustrate these guys, make sure that you don't allow their pressure to come. Then when they get frustrated, that's when you counter. And that's what he's saying, Afolabi, right? Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. I'm here.
Yeah, so go ahead, take us up. Yeah, so what he's saying is important. The first 10 or 15 minutes of the game is important for South Africa because Mexico, they're going to be shouting, all of them will be on everything. Mexico.
I don't particularly see Mexico to be a very strong team. But my problem with South Africa is, do they believe in themselves enough to impose that game on Mexico? Because just like South Africa, Mexico doesn't have an X factor, really. They don't have a star player.
South Africa believes in themselves. But the problem is that Bruce has been putting it on. Like, remember what was it, Segodi? Bruce said something about when he leaves the room, he'll behave like a white man. Who was he talking about again?
Borazi.
He started his player saying that he will behave like a white man. So Bruce is the problem because the South African players have confidence, but Bruce, I don't think he believes in that team. What do you think, Segodi? I don't think he believes in
absolutely. That. Yeah, sometimes I feel like he doesn't believe in the team because he likes those physical players. Yeah. Like he doesn't
want to play guys like Mofokeng who are faster.
Yes, because of the physicality. So somehow I don't think he believes in them that much.
Look at Spain. Spain is not a physical team at all.
No.
They're not physical. All right, so very good show, guys. So we'll be back on I won't be around because I have to work. That's so sad. But you guys can do the post game for South Africa. All right, Afolabi, take us out. That's post game, you guys. It's going to be the game starts at 3.
And also, Mr. Mustafa, I think we should talk about the high ticket fee and why you guys are not giving visas to some players or some countries or like there are so many controversies on that too, though.
Go ahead and ask
one of the refs from Iran also.
We can do that tomorrow morning.
Iran or Somalia.
We'll do a show on that tomorrow because it's going to take time. We'll do that one tomorrow. We'll figure out the times for everybody. But you guys can do the post-game show probably around 10 o'clock Nigeria time, 11 South Africa. Because, we have to do that show immediately because South Africans will be waiting. Where's the show? Yeah. All right, take us out for that.
It's been another wonderful show. I've been discussing the Bafana against Mexico, the opener in the World Cup 2026 from Warifa, Segodi, Saeed, Mustafa. My name is Afolabi, signing off from here.
All right. Segodi, when should I post this video?